Hello and welcome back to the workshop where my 3D printer is banging away making some mounts for the grille for my car. So forgive the noise in the background. Bit of a stitched together video today. I've just been taking short clips on my phone while I've been cracking on under the bonnet, trying to sort out the wiring and the plumbing for the car, as well as doing some work on the brake booster that will be the subject of a future video. So probably a short one today. I'm just going through the clips, catching you up, showing you what I've been doing. Bit of a JFDI day today. I'd sort of forgotten how much I liked working out here and chatting to the neighbours and answering lots of questions, but nonetheless got lots done. So, relocated the reservoir, relocated the pump more importantly. So the reservoir now sits nice and high above the, with the air pocket above the cooling plate for the inverter, so we should be able to bleed it much more easily. Found a nice pipe in my box of bits. I know you shouldn't reuse old pipe, and I'll get a nice silicone one at some point, but this will do for now. But that fits kind of perfectly. Need to make a bracket to sit here, so I'll make something that sort of clamps around the bottom and the top and then attaches to those two holes there with a couple of nuts. Pump is now down here. Slightly worried about that getting battered by road debris, etc. I might just 3D print a little cowl for that or something, but it'll do for now. Big job though has been wiring. I stripped off all of the old original insulation tape to expose all the parts. I've separated the wires into sort of, well, 3 groups out of here plus one. So I now have 5-way waterproof connectors for the lights, which will run onto a loom that goes up into the bonnet and to the 2 lights. So that's nice and straightforward. I've also been able to massively slim down the loom that goes around the front of the car for the horns, for this switch here, and for the windscreen washer, which frees up. I've got those using just one of the earth points now, so that frees up some earth there. I've got a spare earth which ties back into here, but actually I figured it'd be much neater just to pull that out. I'm probably going to terminate this here somewhere. I'm not quite sure about cable routing yet. Want it to be nice and neat. But if I've got a termination there, I might just put a riv nut in there. Then I can do the termination for the battery box, for the charger, and for the inverter all in one. Get rid of all this mess. And then I'll need a point for the, actually then the pump can terminate back up here, and I can get rid of a lot of this mess. I'm obviously going to redo this at some point. So yeah, I've also done bits on the brake booster, but I'll cover that in a separate video. And yeah, feels an awful lot tidier. Got good access to canvas now, so I can try and turn off that ABS light once I've got some captures from the other car. Yeah, lots still to do, but I feel like I made some good progress today. let's summarise where we're at, because it's still kind of chaos under here. I'm in the process of redoing everything in the junction box here to tidy everything up. So these are my cables that run into the cockpit, whatever you want to call it. That's from my throttle. These are my switch gear signal wires, so forward, reverse, start, brake, cruise, etc. Some of these need to terminate here. So for example, ignition start triggers the run relay, and then from there starts the inverter, which then closes the contactors, which then turns on the other high voltage stuff and turns on various bits. I've explained this before, but I've got 3 relays on, system on, inverter, charger, battery box, and power steering enable. Charge relay, so that's when the contactors are closed. We get cooling comes on, DC to DC converter, and heater is enabled, and then run. Switch gear is enabled, power steering starts, brake. And what this means is that there's no switch gear, so there's no forward or reverse signal when it's in just charge mode. So we can heat the car up, preheat the car, we can do DC-DC, we can do cooling when it's just in charge mode, which can be triggered either, as I say, which gets triggered by the contactors being closed. So that's all quite neat. So yeah, we've not sheathed these wires yet. This is my that's my charger wiring. I've still been working out exactly where the PP line's going to go, and actually I have worked that out now. It's going to go up into here, into the PP detect box, which has nothing to do with urine, but detects when a charge plug is plugged in, turns on the on relay, sends a signal to the BMS, which is going to be here, to tell the BMS that charge mode's enabled, and the BMS then sends a signal to the inverter to close the contactors, but without triggering the run relay, so we don't get noisy stuff running and draining the battery. So yeah, I'm very pleased with this. It's not perfect. My new amp seal, if you pull this mess out of the way, nice sheathing with plugs for battery box, plug down to resolver, and then the higher current connections. All the signal wires are going to go through this. I'm going to go through here with that custom grommet you saw me designing. That's printed out now, that fits beautifully. I've just got to terminate the rest of these wires on the back end of the plug for this. This is my CAN bus wiring. This is going to go in a loop around, so starts at the charger, goes in a loop around here, goes through here, then out here to the inverter and to the brake booster, which will be the subject of the next video. This is my latest iteration of my 3D printed coolant bottle slash what's it called? I've forgotten the name now. Anyway, where it spins around, the bubbles come out. Tank. It doesn't quite sit flush yet. I need to shorten this pipe slightly. But other than that, it's pretty good. If it's not strong enough, I can reprint it in carbon fibre. The joys of having the Bambu X1. Yeah, all good, lots of progress. It feels a hell of a lot neater, and like it's going to be an awful lot easier to troubleshoot once this is all in. I know it looks messy now, but trust me, it's a hell of a lot more organised than it was. So that'll do for this one. Just a quick video, just a quick update, because I'm mostly focusing on just getting stuff done, but also it's kind of a bit difficult to do pieces to camera and stuff outside your own house. Apart from anything else, I'm always getting interrupted by neighbours. I'm having loads of conversation with people about what's going on, total confusion about which car this is and whether it's electric yet and whether the other one is and what the body is, and yeah, people are very curious. So it's kind of nice, especially with the weather being good. Anyway, next time,
sorting out the brake booster because I've got basically no brakes at the moment. I've got a nice neat plan for that as well to continue the theme of this much neater engine bay. I realise these things aren't, or rather this isn't the behaviour of someone who's running to get this MOT'd. I'm doing a lot of neatening up. But these things have to be fun, and you have to work on the bits that you want to work on. So thanks for watching. If you do like this stuff, please do like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers. Bye bye.